Today we're going to be looking at the top 32 seeds for this year's US Open. Number 32, Miomir Kecmanovic. Kecmanovic is coming off a relatively down year in 2021, going just 14-26. However, he has achieved career best results in all of the first three majors this season. We'll hope to see if he can replicate that in the US Open this year. Number 31, Nicolas Basilashvili. Basilashvili is still looking for his first deep run at a major. His best result is a finals appearance at the Indian Wells Masters back in 2021. But other than that, not much to show for. He does have 5 titles and 9 career finals appearances at tournaments in total. So we'll see if this is the year that he's able to break through at the US Open. He faces a bit of an uphill battle as he is playing Daniil Medvedev in the third round, assuming they both make it that far. Number 30, Maxime Cressy. The young American is having his best season by far, having already won a title this summer, and he made the 4th round at the Australian Open back in January. He has high hopes to go far in this tournament, and hopefully his big service will serve as an advantage. Number 29, Tommy Paul. Another 25-year-old American. Last year represented Tommy Paul's most successful season as he won his first ever title. However, he looks to improve on that this year. He has made the quarterfinals of a Masters, and he achieved his best result in a Grand Slam by making the 4th round at Wimbledon. Number 28, Holger Rune. The 19-year-old has already given himself a reputation as one of the more fiery players on the tour due to his antics at the French Open, which he made a surprising run to the quarterfinals. However, outside of that tournament, he has never won a Grand Slam main draw match. This year represents him breaking into the top 100 and winning his first ever title in Germany back in April. Number 27, Karen Khachanov. Khachanov has a much deeper resume than most of the other entries so far on our list. He's made the quarterfinals at a major twice, but never at the US Open. He won a Paris Masters back in 2018, but that's his last career title to date. He has made a finals, and he is currently sporting a 15-13 win-loss record in 2022. His big serve is always a weapon and always a threat to whoever he faces in any match he plays. Number 26, Lorenzo Musetti. Musetti shocked the world in 2021 at Roland Garros when he made the 4th round, almost defeating Novak Djokovic, having a 2-0 lead. However, he has not been able to replicate those results, as he's won just one Grand Slam draw match since that time, losing the first round of the first 3 events of this season. He has yet to make a final, and he is 13-11 on the year. However, at just 20 years old, the Italian still shows a lot of promise for the future. Number 25, Borna Coric. Coric is returning from an injury which sidelined him for most of 2021 and a lot of 2022 as well. However, he has returned strongly, winning the Cincinnati Masters over Stefanos Tsitsipas to win his 3rd career title. He played just 9 matches in 2021 and so far just 17 in 2022. Maybe this time off will give him some extra motivation, as his last US Open appearance back in 2020 netted him a quarterfinal appearance, his first at a major. Number 24, Francisco Cerundolo. Yet another player who picked up his first career title earlier this year. His Grand Slam results don't have much. He's only been in 3 main events, losing in the first round each time, including one against Rafa at Wimbledon. He'll be looking for his first win in a Grand Slam match. However, he did make a nice run to the semifinals in Miami back in the spring. He's currently sporting a 17-11 record on the season. Number 23, Nick Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios has had as many things said about him as any player in history. A player who it looked like would never reach his full potential kicked it up at Wimbledon this year, making a Grand Slam final before losing to Novak Djokovic. He has never made it past the 3rd round of the US Open. However, we'll see if his good results from this season will make him a little bit hungrier to get that Grand Slam win. The Australian has won 7 titles, been to 11 finals, and is closing in on 200 match wins in his career. At 31-9, Kyrgios is on pace for his best ever season in terms of win-loss record. Frances Tiafoe. The 24-year-old is actually making his 8th ever appearance at the US Open. Despite some of the success in his career, he only has one title. He did make a final earlier this season, and he made the 4th round at Wimbledon. However, fans have been impatiently waiting for him to break through and get to a quarterfinal for the first time since the 2019 Australian Open, or possibly better. The Maryland native has been up and down throughout his career, but a good result here could propel his confidence moving forward. Number 21, Botic van de Zandschulp. At last year's US Open, Van de Zandschulp had his best ever result at a Grand Slam, reaching the quarterfinals. He also went 16-10 that year, but his win-loss record has taken a bit of a dip. However, that's partially because he's been playing more high-leverage tournaments. He made his first ever career final, but has not won a title yet. However, the big server is once again going to be a threat at the US Open grounds. Number 20, Dan Evans. Dan Evans debuted on the tour back in 2008, and for most of his career has floundered around trying to find footing on the ATP Tour. However, the last few years have had a bit of a resurgence, and in 2021 he won his first career title after 13 years. He made the semifinals in Canada earlier this summer, and he's got a 19-19 record on the year, and his career win-loss percentage is pretty much hovering right around 50%. He made it to the 4th round at the US Open, and he's looking for his first ever quarterfinal appearance at any Grand Slam. Number 19, Denis Shapovalov. We all know this player for how he became famous when he hit a lines judge in the eye during a Davis Cup match back in 2017. Since then, he's had a steady rise. However, he seems to have plateaued a little bit in the last season, causing some fans to suggest that he may have peaked and that his career won't advance any further. I still believe that the Canadian can make some noise at the US Open. He has had good results in majors before. He's made 3 quarterfinals or better. However, despite all of his successes on the tour, he only has one career title, which was won back in 2019. Number 18, Alex de Minaur. De Minaur is a player who for the last few years now has hovered around the top 30. He's been consistently posting winning seasons and currently sports a 34-17 record in 2022. He's made one career quarterfinal, and that was at the US Open just 2 years ago. He's picked up 5 career titles and has played in 9 career finals. However, none of those have been at particularly marquee events. He's only won championships at 250 events and won his second in Atlanta earlier this summer. Number 17, Grigor Dimitrov. Dimitrov has been in every Grand Slam main draw since 2011. He's won 8 titles in his career and has been to 15 finals. However, he hasn't won a title since 2017, which was by far his best season, in which he finished number 3 in the world. He's 20-17 this year, and his best result at the US Open was a semi-final appearance in 2019. Overall, he's made the quarterfinals or better in 6 of the tournaments he's played at Grand Slams. He did win an ATP Finals appearance in 2017, however, he never qualified for the ATP Finals since then. Dimitrov has finished in the top 30 every season since 2013, which is a testament to his consistency. Can he finish the year with a good result at the US Open? That remains to be seen. Number 16, Roberto Bautista Agut. Agut is a veteran who first made his Grand Slam debut back in 2012. He's made 2 quarterfinals or better, both of them in 2019, a season which he finished in the top 10. He's got a great win-loss record of 63% overall, and he's sporting a 31-13 record so far this year. However, he hasn't had any impressive results in significant events this season. He has finished in the top 30 every year since 2014, so this is another player who has amazing consistency throughout his career. Number 15, Marin Cilic. Cilic is a great player whose best days looked to be well behind him until he made a surprising run to the semi-finals of the French Open earlier this year. Cilic, of course, won this event back in 2014, so far his only Grand Slam to date, and he's made 2 other finals appearances in Grand Slams. Overall, he's gone to the quarterfinals 14 times or better in his career. He's won 20 career titles and has 35 career finals appearances, and he has finished in the top 10 4 times, and he hasn't posted a losing season since way back in 2006. With his newfound confidence from Roland Garros, you can bet that he's going to be a threat to take the crown once again. Number 14, Diego Schwartzman. Standing at just 5'7", Schwartzman is known as one of the shorter players on the tour. However, don't let his small stature fool you. He can hit the ball with the best of them. He's made the quarterfinals or better at least one major every year since 2017. However, he'll have to do that at the US Open if he wants to keep this streak alive. He's won 4 career titles and has made 14 career finals appearances, making at least one every year since 2016. He finished in the top 10 in 2020, and he is not just a clay court specialist, as he has several good results at hard court tournaments. Number 13, Matteo Berrettini. Berrettini is quickly becoming one of the most consistent players on the tour. He's finished in the top 10 in the last 3 years, and he's made the quarterfinals or better in the last 4 majors that he has participated in. He made the semifinals at the Australian Open this year, and he made a finals appearance at Wimbledon last season. He's made the quarterfinals or better twice at the US Open in 2021 and 2019. He's won 7 career titles and has been to 11 career finals. As well, his win-loss record of 133 and 72 is great for his career numbers, and we're definitely looking forward to seeing him at yet another major. Number 12, Pablo Carreño Busta. Carreño Busta had a bit of a slow start to his career. However, he's picked it up tremendously since 2016. He finished in the top 10 in 2017, and he's finished in the top 30 every year since 2016. He's won 7 career titles and has made 12 career finals, and he's made the semifinals of the US Open twice. He won the Canadian Open this year, so he does have a hardcourt title under his belt, and he could be another sleeper threat to turn it on once again at Flushing Meadows. Number 11, Jannik Sinner. Sinner is one of the most impressive young players on the tour. He's never made the quarterfinals of the US Open, but he's made the quarterfinals of every other event. Last year was by far his breakout year, winning a stunning 4 titles in 5 finals appearances, and he has picked up a title earlier this summer in Croatia. That gives him 6 in his career. And he's sporting a 38-11 record, and if he can get a decent result at the US Open, he'll probably finish with his career high ranking. In any case, Sinner still shows a lot of promise at just 21 years old. Number 10, Taylor Fritz. In a sea of Americans that have been struggling to break through, Fritz has had a surprisingly good turnout. He's having his best season by far. He's 35-14, which is already the most wins he's ever had in a season in his career, and he's won 2 titles, the first time he's ever done that, including beating Rafael Nadal at Indian Wells back in March. He also made his first quarterfinal appearance in Wimbledon, in which he lost a 5-set thriller to Nadal. However, in his home country, he'll have likely some more support from the crowd, and we'll see if he can use that to his advantage. Number 9, Andrei Rublev. Rublev has been showing more and more promise every year he's on the tour. He won his first title in 2017 and had another great season in 2019, going 38-19 to push him into the top 30. In a pandemic-shortened 2020, Rublev managed to still snag 5 titles and had 2 quarterfinals appearances at Grand Slams. In 2021, despite his titles count going down, he managed to improve his ranking and finished the year in the top 5, including getting a win for Russia at the Davis Cup and finishing in 2 Masters finals. He's won 3 titles so far in 2022, and he's made a couple deep runs at this tournament before in his career. He's made 5 quarterfinals overall in majors, and he's a threat to win this US Open, I think, legitimately. The Russian has a total of 11 career titles, with 9 of those coming in the last 3 seasons. Number 8, Hubert Hurkacz. Hurkacz was a relatively inconsistent player throughout the first several years of his career and had his coming out party in 2021 where he snagged 3 titles, including a Miami Masters title and a semifinals appearance at Wimbledon. He went 36-23 last season to finish 9th. This season he's 32-14 and made a finals at the Canadian Open. However, he has yet to make another deep Grand Slam run. However, this season looks as good as any for Hurkacz to make that push. Number 7, Cameron Norrie. Norrie has looked incredible these last 2 seasons, having won over 90 matches in 21 and 22 combined so far. He's also picked up his first 4 career titles and has 10 appearances in that span, including a win at Indian Wells and earlier this summer at Wimbledon, making a run all the way to the semifinals. It's taken him a while, but Norrie is truly breaking through as another top player, as well as one that I believe is truly underrated on the tour. Number 6, Felix Auger-Aliassime. FAA is a great young player, however has become a bit notorious for his poor finals record. Just 1-9 in his finals appearances all time, and he didn't get his first title until earlier this year. Nevertheless, he's having another great season as he's steadily improved since he first broke onto the tour in 2018. He made a semifinals last year at the US Open. He made a quarterfinal at the Australian Open this season. He's 36-20 on the year, his best winning percentage of his career. And I think he has plenty of reasons to be confident going into Flushing Meadows. Number 5, Casper Ruud. Contrary to FAA, Ruud's ascension was a lot more sudden, with a great 2021 in which he nabbed 5 titles, and he's taken that into 2022 where he's gotten 3 titles and his first ever Grand Slam final appearance at the French Open where he lost to his boyhood idol in Rafael Nadal. However, he is 38-15 this year after winning 57 matches in 2021. So in the last 2 seasons combined, he already has over 100 match wins. As well, it's pretty much certain that this year he will finish with his career high in terms of ranking. Number 4, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas is a weird case. For one, it seems that unlike most players where they spend a few years struggling at the bottom, it seems that Tsitsipas was an elite player from the get-go. In 2018, just his second year on the tour, he finished with a year-end ranking of number 15, winning a title and going to 3 finals. Then the next season, he finished in the top 10, winning 3 titles, and he's won a title every year since 2018. He's made a semifinal or better every year in at least one major since 2019. He got to the finals of the French Open in 2021 and actually had a 2-set-to-love lead on Djokovic before going on to lose the match. However, the US Open has been one of his worst events, and his results in the last 2 majors of the season are far, far worse than the results at the first 2. He's never made it past the 3rd round at Flushing Meadows. However, there's no reason to believe that he can't reverse his fortunes this season, as he's having yet another great year. And once again, he's won 101 matches in the last 2 seasons combined. He's a very durable player and has a lot of energy in the tank if he can keep his wits about him. Number 3, Carlos Alcaraz. Yet another player with a seemingly meteoric rise. Alcaraz, at just 19, already has 5 career titles under his belt and is easily going to finish the year in the top 10 and probably the top 5. He won 2 Masters this year and made it to the French Open quarterfinals in an event where he was actually a favorite to win the whole thing. And at the US Open, he made the quarterfinals last year, and he's got to be feeling very confident going in, just looking at what he's done this season. A record of 44-9 as he continues his stranglehold on the tennis world. Number 2, Rafael Nadal. If I was to sit here and read out all of Rafael Nadal's achievements, we would be here for over 2 hours. What more should I say about Rafael Nadal? A record 22 Grand Slams, 4 wins at this event, 30 Grand Slam finals appearances, 92 career titles, 5 seasons at year-end number 1, 17 consecutive seasons finishing in the top 10, and 18 if you include this year, in which he's already won 4 titles. Nadal has missed the last 2 US Opens, but he actually won this event the last time he played back in 2019. This season, of course, he won the first 2 majors of the year, and he's sporting a 35-4 record, a 90% win rate, which is the best since 2018, in which he went 45-4. And he's got a legitimate shot to finish the season at number 1 yet again. Simply put, he's a player that you can never count out. Since 2013, people have suggested that this is the end of Rafa. However, he's come back more than enough times to prove otherwise. And finally, the number 1 seed, Daniil Medvedev. Medvedev won this event last year, and he had a golden opportunity to win his second Grand Slam at the Australian Open. Unfortunately for him, he blew a 2-0 lead against Rafa and ended up losing that match. However, he is still the rightful world number 1, and he's got 14 career titles to his name, all since 2018. He's the first number 1 outside of the Big Four since Andy Roddick back in 2004. He's been steadily improving every year since he's been on tour, so we don't even know if we've seen his peak yet. If he peaks at this tournament, then he will be absolutely unstoppable. Ultimately, because I'm biased, I think that Rafael Nadal will claim his 5th US Open title at Flushing Meadows. His clutch factor has just been unmatched by any other player in the draw, and I think for that reason, he's going to be the one to lift the trophy in 2 weeks.